Hi, it's Dom Joyashi from Social Media Bomb, where we teach coaches and people with client-based businesses how to build the online marketing machine that's going to allow them to get clients easily online and to build their business. Now, today I want to talk to you about something that I love in the online marketing space, which is split testing. And if you have been taught about split testing before, anyone who teaches split testing is going to tell you just to change one thing at a time when you're comparing two things. Otherwise, you're not going to know what it was that created the change. So if you've got two opt-in landing pages and you change more than one thing at once, and then one is converting a lot higher than the other, you're not going to know exactly what it was, which change it was that created that difference. So I want to talk to you about a real life history example of why you should just change one thing with split testing. I'm going to take you back to November 1941. So it's getting towards the end of the war. Bletchley Park had already cracked Enigma, so the English knew at any point in time where all of the German U-boats were in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, the Germans were suspicious about the fact that the U-boats weren't finding any convoys and they were questioning their security. But the security evaluation had come back and concluded that Enigma had not been broken, and that was because Bletchley Park was doing a really good job of which information they were acting on and which they weren't. But Dönitz, who was the head of the Navy, was in charge of the U-boats, was not satisfied. And so he added an extra wheel to the Enigma just for the U-boats in the Atlantic. So all of a sudden the English were blind as to where any of the U-boats were in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, it should have been game over. At that point in time, the fact that the Germans added that wheel and went from not finding any convoys to just being able to find convoys, that would have told the Germans that Enigma had been broken. But at that exact point in time, the Expedience, and I'm sure I didn't pronounce that correctly, but it's basically the German crypto analysis team, they managed to crack the naval cyber number 3. So basically all of a sudden they were able to read 80% of the traffic, the radio traffic from the English Navy. So on one hand, we have all of a sudden the English don't know where any of the U-boats are. And then on the other hand, all of a sudden the Germans know where the convoys are. So they're able to direct their U-boats to the convoys. So this means the fact that the English were now blind to the position of the U-boats is hidden by the fact that now the Germans know where they are. So if this hadn't occurred, if they hadn't cracked the Navy cyber code at the same time that extra wheel was added to Enigma, the Germans would have realized that Enigma had been cracked and the war could have ended very differently. So I hope you liked that history. My husband's a history buff and he was telling me this story and I was like, oh my God, it's like in split testing. And he gave me a really weird look from someone who doesn't understand what split testing is. But I just wanted to share this story with you because it's a very great example of why you should only ever change one thing when you are split testing. Otherwise, you just don't know what the real story is. Okay, I hope you're having a great day and I look forward to talking to you in the next video.